Hello everyone, this is NolanCat here, and welcome to another StormWorks video. Now as you can see, we have the SS Ventura again. This is part 2 of a series. Now, you should go watch the first video, where we sank this boat backside first. Caused a boiler explosion using this coffee machine. So, in this episode, we're going to be doing the opposite, aka the rough weather sink. This should cause a leakage in the front, which will cause it to sink from the bow. Which is the front, if you don't know. So, we should get started. As last time I showed, this is a pretty nice boat, and it's based off Jurassic Park. It's based off the SS Ventura. So it's the SS Ventura. So I guess we should just get started. There was some wind before this. This is why the boat is so close to the edge here. Can't really stop that. I hope it doesn't scratch our boat. But let's get started. So first of all, let's do the same thing as last time. Let's turn on those lights. All right, we've turned on the lights. Now let's turn on these engines. Let's turn on the generators, engine bank A and B, and then let's throttle up. And it looks like we've gotten out the outside undamaged. Perfect. There we go. Ports of the engine computer do not spill. So that's what this does. It spills on that and thus making it break. Let's turn on our radar and our map table. Now, can't do anything with this right now because that currently has no destination. So let's quickly get a waypoint up in here. So let's put, last time we went over here and sank the boat this direction. Let's instead set a waypoint over here this time. And now we can do the sinkage over there. So let's enter that in, put it in. Let's activate the audio pilot. So, if you weren't here for the last episode, I will show you I'll tour you the boat. So we have 2 smokestacks in the back, and right here we have a crane which controls the lifeboat. In order to do this, we have to hop into here, and we have to press number 1 to release the boat locks. Then what you have to do is you have to go to the crane. Now that the boat locks are removed, you have to move the crane, and you have to move it out into the water. And then after that you have to come back to the boat, which is now hanging above the water, and you have to release the crane connectors, dropping it into the ocean. And that's how the lifeboat works. Now, last time, which I did not see this last time, was you can actually open up the cargo container doors. So you can see, we can open up the cargo doors where all the dinosaurs would be held. So that's pretty cool. Let's close those things up right now. There's also a speaker here. Alright, so those are closed now. And let's just continue our journey. There is only a boarding door back here, so we don't need anything to do with that. But then we have the deck house right over here, where we've got a bunch of different cabins. I didn't say last time that all these cabins are pretty much the same. It's nothing really about them. The anchor room in here, these are just more cabins, but except they're different cabins, which I'm sure they all have lights and all kinds of stuff. Then that's that. Over here takes you to this part of the deck. Then over here will come down to here, which is the cargo hold. This is where all the cargo is. That's where the doors are. A lot. Then this is document storage, where they're storing all their company secrets. This is just a workshop, which actually has a pillar drill. Intriguing. Did not find that last time. And then all the way in the back with the bow thruster. Also, another thing, I couldn't find the boiler in the last video. It's because there is no boiler in the last video. The boiler is just a part of the engine room. Here we have a TV, which is showing some of the stuff to our guests. But you can actually turn it on and off on the outside. The kitchen in here with stoves and stuff. Then we have the equipment room. And we've got diving gear to go steal company secrets. We get the firefighting gear, and we've got the scuba gear. And then, so that's the equipment room, and that's all that. So if we go down another floor, down to the final floor, which this was the floor with the document storage. I forgot to mention, here's the first aid room. This has all the medical equipment and all that stuff. Now let's hop on back up to deck. I've already shown you in the last episode, it looks like at night, and it doesn't get all bright. I mean, the front part is pretty bright, but the back deck is not. The back is not. It doesn't have very many lights. These are like its only lights here and there. So we are not going to sink this at night. Anyways, now what we're going to do is, I think we are probably far enough at shore, so let's kick up the wind. Let's come over here and let's flip up the wind all the way to 100%. Okay, so we've got some nice wind here. I think we should take a look about what that looks like at the bow to see if these waves are going to be enough, which I think these waves will be enough. These are some pretty nice waves. So now that we have waves and it's all good, I think we're ready to start the sink. So let's close up the deck house and let's hop on and over into the wheelhouse. Let's go over here and turn off the rough weather sink. So hopefully this is rough enough weather to get the bow to sink. We will have to cut the engines relatively soon because we can't have the wheelhouse going under and not being able to turn off the engines, because we of course want to watch the boat as it sinks once we get on to the lifeboat, which we're going to try and stay on the boat for as long as possible, but I don't want to have to fall off the boat, whereas then I can't make it back to the boat because the engines are on, it's moving, and then, end of video. So we're going to cut the engines sometime soon, but I think, oh yeah, that's definitely it. It's definitely enough for it to go down. Don't know if it's sinking or not. According to the radar, there's some stuff nearby, maybe? Yeah. We are on course now. We're 100% on course. We're moving towards whatever location we are going to, but this boat was not going to make it to there. And last but not least, while the boat begins to sink, that was a massive jump. Just did, oh boy, these waves are really kicking around. Let's head into the cargo hold real quick, and let's check out the boiler explosion. There's also fire that came into the back, but the water immediately put it out. But the boilers are somewhere in this engine room, which I tried to show you guys this engine room earlier, but that's the engine room. That's where it started to fill up. when the boiler exploded in the last part, in part 1. Now we're at part 2, and the boat has definitely been affected and is already much closer to the end. So we're not going to cut the engines until right where like this part is all filled with water and the wheelhouse is just above water. Then we'll come in and we'll go cut all the engines so that it stops moving, and then we can just watch it sink. Because I've tended to have problems with the boat and falling off of it. I've fallen off many boats. I've fallen off the submarine under the ocean in StormWorks. So, yeah. But these is definitely working well. Oh boy. Boat hasn't officially completely gone down yet. Don't think this boat's going to capsize, but these waves are definitely chopping it up. Let's see how she handles them. But yeah, looks like can't quite tell, but definitely looks like the bow's going under more. And so yeah, we're definitely have to cut the engines sometime, but these waves are also, I hope these waves doesn't capsize the boat, because it really sways it, but I don't think this boat's gonna capsize. It seems relatively strong. But we should definitely cut the engine soon, because I'm sure this stuff is, full of water, and it's filling up with water at relatively high speeds. Let's turn on that bow thruster. See what that does. But the bow is definitely going under the water a lot. And I don't know about when it's going to completely and not actually come back out of the water. But yeah. So this is a really good boat. I'll also have this boat's link in the description, just like the last video. But yeah, it's definitely getting close to being under the water at all times. Well, the front part of the bow. It's definitely already tilted down. Some of the high waves are already getting up here. Don't want to cut the engines early, but I don't want to cut them late either. Cutting them late is fatal. Because the engines, I know for sure, are going to be on for a while. Because the engine room's all the way back there. The water's not going to be able to cut that itself. But bow's definitely going under by a lot of the time. And I'm sure the bow is really close to being under the water at all times. Even when it comes back up, it's still getting quite close. It's going to take a while for this actually to sink, but, well, at least hopefully not. It's actually going pretty fast. We still haven't activated the lifeboat. At this time, we probably would have prepared the lifeboat to be taken off. But, of course, I haven't cut off the engine yet. That's an important thing. I'm going to stay in the wheelhouse for as long as possible. Even though the ship is actually now the water doesn't want me to be in the wheelhouse. So we should probably hop into the wheelhouse now. And now it's really going down, and there we have it. It's moving, and it's really pointing down a lot, and I think it still hasn't, for some reason, it still hasn't gone down, but it's definitely filling up with water really quite fast. As soon as it gets to the cargo hold, boat's going to go down extremely fast. still not going to cut the engines quite yet. But the boat's definitely being pulled out of the water by a lot, and the waves are kicking over the boat by a lot. It looks like the front is now started to definitely be under the water for most of the time. I'm going to wait till the water expands itself more, and would you look at that? We actually don't have to cut the engines very much, because looks like it's actually going to just push the propellers out of the water, stopping the engine from doing stuff. But the waves are definitely crashing over, and the water, as soon as the propellers officially stop really pushing the boat very much, then, okay, I think it might be time to cut those engines. I've cut the engines, and now let's leave the wheelhouse and let's go prep this lifeboat. According to this crane, this ship, his front is definitely going down. So let's turn off these boat locks. Let's release those. There we go. Boat locks have been released. Now let's go to the crane and let's move her out of the way. We can lower her just a little bit. But yeah, that boat is definitely going down at high speeds. We're gonna try and stay on this boat for as long as possible, just like last time. Without it, last time we actually went back onto the boat, but as soon as we did that, it really sank immediately after we did that. So, the boat's front is going under the water now, and soon she'll be completely under. Now, with all of this, we have this huge winch as well over here. But the boat's definitely going down. If the boat goes straight vertically down, then I can definitely stop it from going straight vertically down. Alright. So, boat's definitely going down. And the cargo hold is going to fill up soon. And the cargo hold is a big place. So, as soon as the cargo hold fills up, boat is definitely going to be gone for... Then the boat's going to go down real fast. Currently, we're still on the boat. But we're going to jump to that lifeboat really soon, especially because it's apparent. I think we might even have to climb onto the crane to actually get to the boat, but yeah, look at this thing. According to the crane, the boat is going down. Oh boy. Okay, let's jump to this thing. Still take a look at the boat, but prepare. Oh boy. Oh boy. Whoo! We got off that crane at the right time, because this boat went straight vertical as soon as we did that. And now, as you can see, the boat's now filling into the engine room. And we flipped over again. So now we've got to get on the top of the boat. This lifeboat tends to flip over. It really likes to flip over. But the boat is going straight down now. Let's see if we can actually see the bottom of it. And there it goes. I wonder if it's going to hit the bottom. It is, but the entire boat has gone under now. And there she goes. Down into the blimey deep. And she hit bottom. Still filling up. Has it hit the bottom? Oh yeah, it's hit the bottom. But, and she's gonna start to tilt. So, I think, just like last time, this lifeboat flipped over, but last time I called it that we survived, and this time I'm also going to call it that we survived. For the same reason, even though the lifeboat's flipped over, we're still on it, and we're not in the water, so we can't drown or get attacked or freeze to death if it's cold. So, I think that means we have survived this one as well. So, I hope all you guys enjoyed this video, and this is Nolan Cat. Bye!